Abel Tasman, born in Lutjegast in 1603 and passing away in Batavia on October 10, 1659, was a Dutch explorer who served the Dutch East India Company v.o.c. He is most renowned for his voyages between 1642 and 1644, which were sponsored by Antonie van Diemen. During these journeys, he made significant discoveries, including Tasmania, New Zealand, and Tongatapu. It was only on the latter island that the crew received a warm reception. Tasman's primary objective was to investigate the land then known as New Holland, which is now recognized as Australia. The western coast of this land had already been explored by the Dutch. The goal was to determine whether this land was part of Terra Australis, a hypothetical southern continent believed to exist to maintain global balance. The V.O.C. hoped that this expedition would open up this uncharted continent for trade and subsequent exploitation. In 1633, Tasman departed from Amsterdam to Batavia in the service of the V.O.C. He returned in 1637. In 1639, he served as the second-in-command on Matthijs Quast's expedition, which explored the seas east of Japan. Tasman had signed up for a 10-year commitment, allowing him to bring his wife along. In 1640, he visited Dutch Formosa as a skipper, carrying gifts for the shogun in Edo, who had ordered the relocation of the trading post from Hirado to Dejima. The first expedition, spanning from August 14, 1642, to June 15, 1643, was initiated by Antonie van Diemen and included several notable figures like Cornelis van der Ligen, Joan Maetsuiker, Justus Schouten, Salomon Sweers, Cornelis Witsen, and Peter Boreal. Tasman, serving as the commander in Batavia, departed for Mauritius with two small vessels, the Heemskerk and the Zealand, to deliver cargo and correspondence. They arrived on September 5 and made necessary repairs to the ships, gathered provisions, and allowed the crews to hunt and enjoy fresh food. On October 8, they set sail eastward to a more southerly latitude than ever before. However, on November 6, they encountered adverse weather conditions, leading Commander Tasman to change course to the north. Sailing farther than Peter Newitz had done, they discovered the island of Tasmania on November 24 after covering approximately 9,000 kilometers. Tasman named it Antonie van Diemen's Land, a name that the British retained when they established the Van Diemen's Land penal colony there centuries later. On December 1, they went ashore in search of fresh water and vegetables but found no local Tasmanians despite hearing music and seeing smoke plumes. They planted a flag and continued eastward. On December 13, 1642, Tasman and his crew sighted a large elevated land, becoming the first Europeans to view the west coast of New Zealand's South Island, which is now known as Okarito. The Zealand and the Heemskerk navigated north along the west coast of New Zealand. Tasman referred to the land as Stattenland, believing it was the island south of Cape Horn named by Jacques El Hermite. They anchored in a bay near the northern tip of the South Island. When the crew went ashore, a Maori signaled with a trumpet. Tasman responded with trumpet signals, but communication proved challenging. Unfortunately, the Solomon Islands glossary that Tasman had, obtained from Jacob LeMay, was inadequate. The following day, for sailors from the Zealand, intending to go ashore in a canoe or visit the other ship, were killed. It was likely that the Maoris interpreted the previous day's trumpet signals as a declaration of war. Tasman named this place Modernasby and decided to continue sailing north. Despite this, 22 canoes followed them, with the lead canoe displaying a white flag. It was met with hostility by the Zealand's crew and was not pursued further. Modernasby is known today as Golden Bay, and a monument was erected in this beautiful but remote bay, near where Abel Tasman's ships are believed to have anchored, in 1942. After renovation, this monument was unveiled again in 1992 by Queen Beatrix during a state visit to New Zealand. On December 20, Tasman missed the strait that would later be named Cook Strait, which separates the North and South Islands, and assumed the land he discovered was part of Terra Australis, the unknown southern land. In early January 1643, he discovered the Epiphany Islands. He continued to the Tonga Islands, which he sighted on January 20th. On the island of Amsterdam, now Tongatapu, he traded water, dozens of pigs, 70 chickens, coconuts, and bananas for white cotton, a piece of old tarpaulin, several nails, 2 mirrors, and some beads. After passing Vanuatu, part of the Fiji Islands, and navigating through the Solomon Islands, the two ships arrived in the Bismarck Archipelago, northeast of New Guinea, following 6 weeks of rain. The Papuans, traveling in their decorated canoes, showed limited interest in the old canvas and nails offered to them. In April, Tasman stopped at the volcanic island of Kaka, previously named the High Island, in 1616 by Willem Schouten and Jacob Lemay. During their voyage, they bought 6,000 coconuts and 100 bunches of bananas on the Schouten Islands in exchange for old nails and knives. The ship's council decided on May 24 to return directly to Batavia from Halmahera due to favorable wind and current conditions. On June 5, a crew member, suspected of assaulting the cabin boy, secretly swam ashore. The ships arrived in Batavia via Botan on June 15, and throughout the voyage, Tasman lost only 15 crew members. During his second voyage in 1644, Tasman explored the southern coast of New Guinea. He changed course before discovering the Torres Strait between New Guinea and Australia, continuing his journey along the northern coast of Australia, mapping it in its entirety. From the VOC perspective, Tasman's expeditions were deemed insufficient. They were regarded as too cursory. He had not explored enough, found a suitable area for trade, or improved sea routes to known regions. For over a century, until the time of James Cook, Abel Tasman's journey remained the sole European visit to Tasmania and New Zealand, while Australia was sporadically visited, usually by happenstance. In April 1648, Tasman was assigned to lead an expedition consisting of 8 ships with 900 sailors and 250 soldiers. The goal was to intercept the Spanish Silver Fleet from Mexico near the Philippines. At that time, news of the Peace of Munster, concluded on January 30, had not yet reached Southeast Asia. It's possible that the Republic of the Seven United Netherlands intended to strike a significant blow against the Spaniards using this expedition. However, the endeavour failed to capture a Spanish galleon. A Spanish vessel pursued by Dutch forces jettisoned its valuable cargo into the sea, resulting in the ship's subsequent sinking. Disheartened by this turn of events, the Tasman-led ships continued on, passing the Philippines and engaging in coastal raids. Following the unsuccessful initial phase of their mission, the squadron proceeded to Ayutthaya to provide assistance to the king during a conflict, as outlined in the second part of their task. However, the king of Ayutthaya altered his war strategy, rendering military aid from the VOC unnecessary. Consequently, they returned to Batavia in January 1649. Tasman faced accusations for the summary execution of a sailor, which led to substantial compensation payments and a tarnished reputation. Tasman stepped down from his position within the VOC. In 1652, by then being among the wealthiest residents of Batavia. Upon his demise in 1659, his assets were divided between his wife, Janetja, and Klaasja, his daughter from his first marriage. The parish of Lutjegast, his birthplace, received a donation of 25 guilders for the benefit of the less fortunate. Thanks for watching this video. If you like the video, please subscribe to our channel.